video is going to be about how to boost your metabolism if your weight is stuck and it's not moving. For those of you who haven't seen any of my videos or don't know my channel, I'm Belinda Dow. I'm a registered dietitian for 10 years now, and you would be interested to check out the rest of my videos and many more to come. So subscribe, stay tuned, because I have a lot more to talk about. This video, however, is going to be about how to boost your metabolism. A lot of people tend to think that my metabolism doesn't work, I just don't lose weight, there's something wrong with me. And most of the time when we look or dig deeper, we realize that there are factors that are contributing to this, if you want, stagnation of weight. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 7 ways to boost your metabolism. First, reverse dieting. So a lot of people think that reverse dieting is only the process of slowly increasing calories if we have already been on a diet plan, we lost the weight we wanted to lose, and now we're trying to maintain or go on what we call a maintenance diet. So when it comes to reverse dieting, yes, in some cases it is in some way the same process, but it also works for someone who has a very slow metabolism or has dieted a lot in their life and has reached a point where they're not at their perfect weight, they still need to lose a lot of weight, or they have dieted so much that their metabolism has become super slow, they cannot even begin to start a weight loss process. Okay. So what reverse dieting is that we usually add between 50 to 100 calories per week in a certain duration. Usually that duration is between 4 to 10 weeks, but this also depends on how much the person has to lose. And almost also how low this person has went when it comes to their calorie intake. So let's say somebody's on a 600 calorie diet. This person that's on a 600 calorie diet has to go through, let's say, to reach up to a 1,200 calorie diet, okay, has to go through each week adding between 50 and 100. So that's gonna take about a month and a half, 2 months. So what happens in this process is that you are slowly adding more food to your diet, and this allows your metabolism to increase without having this huge jump in your calorie intake, which will not result in weight gain, but will result in boosting your metabolism until we get to a place where you are still in a calorie deficit, but your calorie intake is sufficient enough to allow your body to tap into the fat storage and burn that fat. So a lot of people think that if I'm on a low calorie diet, or the lower the calories, the better I'm going to be, or the more weight I'm going to lose. This cannot be farther from the truth. So a lot of studies have shown that when we do reduce our calories and reduce our carbohydrates to a very low calorie intake per day, this causes our leptin levels to decrease as well. For those of you who don't know, leptin is a hormone that actually allows you to feel full. It's a satiety hormone. So when we don't have enough carbohydrates or calories, this hormone drops down. When this hormone drops down, you feel more hungry, you have more cravings, you tend to feel like, I'm always hungry, I'm trying not to eat, I'm trying not to, have more than this amount of calories. Let's say if somebody's trying to only hit 800 calories a day. So it actually allows you to feel more hungry throughout the day, and this doesn't help with weight loss in any way. So a lot of patients end up coming to me on a low carb diet, on a low calorie diet, frustrated, not being able to lose weight. What's wrong with me? Am I doing the wrong diet? Am I doing something wrong? And most of the time, the thing that they're doing wrong is that they're not having enough calories to allow their body to feel comfortable to burn that fat. So your body is made to survive. It's not made to diet. Your body actually doesn't understand the process of dieting. For it, the less calories you give it, the more it's going to want to store, to a certain extent, of course, but the more it's going to want to hang on to that fat for further times where it might feel like you are going to deprive it even more than you are depriving it right now. So what tends to happen with these people who are on a consistent low carb diet or low calorie diet is that they end up becoming leptin resistant. And what leptin resistance is when basically your body stops acknowledging the hormonal signal of leptin. And this is, it's a serious thing because a lot of people don't talk about it, but this actually affects dieting a lot, and it affects someone's ability to actually burn a sufficient amount of fat. Number 2 is make sure you're getting enough protein. No matter what type of diet plan you want to be on, no matter the components of this diet plan, you have to make sure that you're getting enough protein. So a lot of the time when somebody goes on a low calorie diet, what tends to happen is that they kind of neglect the protein intake they're having. And this in return causes us to lose muscle mass, and losing muscle mass is not going to help us in any way for weight loss, because if we're not having enough protein, your body is actually going to burn it's going to burn more of your lean muscle mass before it gets to your fat. So in order to make sure that you're actually burning the fat that you have and not through your muscle mass, you have to make sure that you're getting a proper amount of protein throughout the day, and of course exercise, which we'll get into later, but it definitely has to be a good amount of protein intake in your diet in order to help your body burn more fat and not burn your muscle. On this note, you also have to remember that lean muscle mass is actually going to allow your metabolism to be faster, and reducing our muscle mass is going to slow down our metabolism. Also, something to consider is that when we have enough protein, this actually allows us to reduce what we call ghrelin, which is the hormone that stimulates appetite. So the more protein, the better off we are with normalizing these hormones, our satiety hormone and our hormone that stimulates appetite. What you also have to consider, which a lot of people actually don't know, is the thermic effect of protein digestion. So when we do have protein, when we our stomach is trying to digest it, it actually takes more energy than other macronutrients like carbohydrates and fat. So the process of your body digesting these proteins actually takes calories, actually takes energy. So of course, if you want a sufficient amount of protein, this also allows our body to burn extra calories throughout the day. Third, having breakfast. I know you've heard this a zillion times, probably by every dietitian in this world, but the importance of breakfast, I cannot stress enough about it, because not only are you jump starting your metabolism, you are also, if you want, when you wake up, okay, your metabolism is the slowest in the morning, okay, because we have slept, because we didn't do any activity, we were in a restful mode, if you want. Once we wake up, our metabolism is at the lowest point of the day. So having breakfast in the morning, in the first half hour of waking up, this is going to start our metabolism. It's going to allow us to kind of just press the start button. And what tends to happen is that people who go half the day without having any breakfast, it's like you're cutting yourself short of burning calories throughout the day. So you're allowing your body to go, let's say, for the first 4 or 5 hours without any proper metabolism flow and burning. So having breakfast in the morning is really, really like you're pressing the start button. Number 4 is, of course, exercise. So I think all of us know this. For those of you who don't know it, exercise stimulates your metabolism. It suppresses your appetite as well post-workout. Don't know if you've noticed, but actually after you do complete a workout, you have like about an hour and a half, sometimes even 2, where you really don't feel hungry at all. Your hormone is actually suppressing that appetite. And it actually will regulate your blood sugar level as well, which helps greatly with if you want, regulating that and regulating what our body stores and what it doesn't store. Also, what you have to remember is that when we are looking to lose weight and boosting our metabolism, you have to be able to have, if you want, a combination of different types of exercises. So we can't just go to the gym and just do weight lifting, and we can't also just go and do cardio and let's say, you know, bicycle, elliptical, etc. So there has to be a combination of both. Okay, one, to actually increase our muscle mass, which, like I mentioned in before, that this is going to help increase our metabolism and boost it, but also allow ourselves to do, you know, the cardio and the running, which will allow us to burn more calories. Number 5 is water. So a lot of people neglect this because they think that if they're on a diet, if they're exercising, that's all that they need. It's not important how much water they drink. You're wrong. So first of all, the thing that you need to know is that when we are in a state of dehydration or our body is thirsty, we need water. Your body will sometimes mistake that for hunger. So you will not be able sometimes to differentiate the feeling of thirst with the feeling of hunger. And people tend to always go for the hunger before the thirst. So if you actually drink a glass or two before you decide to go and eat, you might realize that you actually were thirsty and not hungry. Also, what a lot of you may not know is that you actually need water in order to burn fat. So imagine that this water intake that you're having is actually helping you in the process of burning fat. Of course, if you're gonna have water but you're gonna eat a bunch of junk food, it doesn't work that way. But if we're talking someone who has a difficulty losing weight and maybe tends to barely drink any water during the day, adding water to that diet plan and exercise can go an extremely long way. Also, what the body tends to do is that the more water we drink, the more your body has to expend energy in order to take that water and get it to a temperature that is your body temperature. So that requires actually more energy and more energy spent, basically. Another point is that your body actually cannot properly metabolize fat and carbohydrates without water. So if you are not drinking enough water, start doing so. Maybe you will see a change in your weight, of course, along with a diet and exercise. Number 6 is sleep. A lot of you think that sleep is not so important. If I'm getting the right diet plan, if I'm exercising, it's all fine, it's all good. Getting an actual good night's sleep can be a huge game changer. And the reason for this is because the lack of sleep can actually affect how your body regulates your appetite, your feeling of fullness, your sugar cravings, your cravings for food in general. And while you are sleeping, your body, if you want, is at rest. It's not in any state of stress. When you stay up longer than you should, or in the hours, usually what's called the dawn effect is what your blood sugar levels increase during the period of 4 and 8 a.m. Okay, so when we are up during this time, we're increasing our cortisol levels, we're increasing our insulin levels, and our blood sugar level is higher as well. So getting a proper good night's sleep actually helps stabilize and regulate our sugar and insulin levels. And a lot of people tend to not know the relation between this, and you see it in a lot of people who are insulin resistant or diabetic. They tend to have a horrible sleeping pattern, and this also contributes to weight gain. So if you feel like your weight is really stuck and you don't know why, and you barely sleep or you sleep really late, this could be a reason why. Number 7 is stress. Stress is a killer, to be honest, when it comes to weight gain. A lot of people think that it's fine, I'm stressed, I should lose. Some people think that they would lose weight if they were stressed out. Stress is honestly something that, in my personal experience, it led me to insulin resistance all by itself. So that, and the lack of sleep, because you know, sleep is not being able to sleep is also related to, you know, having a lot of stress that you can't actually put your head down and go to bed. But why is stress such a factor when we talk about weight gain or not being able to lose weight? Is because when we are stressed, our cortisol levels rise, and once our cortisol level rises, our insulin levels rise as well, and this does not help in contributing to any type of weight loss, and it increases our sugar levels in the long run. But when our insulin levels do go up, this allows, if you want, a drop in our blood sugar levels at that specific time, and this causes us to have more cravings. Also, having greater insulin levels is going to also contribute to more fat storage. Okay, so definitely, if you are someone who has a lot of stress in their life, you have to find something to relieve that stress. It can be meditation, it can be art, reading, going on vacation, whatever it is that will relieve your stress. Usually it's better to find a habit that you can cling on to, a healthy habit, or a therapeutic one, to kind of just relieve that stress. Meditation helps as well, just being able to calm yourself and recollect yourself and reground yourself, because really stress is something that could actually stop somebody from losing weight. You know, they could be doing other things correct, but be doing this one thing that's wrong, basically. Also, something to note that people who tend to, let's say, have a super stressful day throughout their day, from work, let's say, whatever it may be that's stressing you out, or whatever stressful type of day you lead, working out in the afternoon, working out after you've finished that stressful day, your cortisol levels at that time are actually much higher than they would be in the morning. If we were, let's say, to do a workout in the morning, our body is more at ease to burn that fat because we don't have that cortisol level being too high. So when we have a workout in the afternoon, it's not that we can't have that workout or we're not going to see results with that workout. But if we are someone who already has a lot of stress or has a very stressful day at work, and we exercise when we come back home, our cortisol levels are higher. And also, if we end up doing high intensity exercises or really straining our bodies, we are putting even more stress on our body, and that is just going to increase your cortisol levels. And sometimes this is why some people don't actually see the results they're actually looking for when it comes to their workout routine. So it's something to consider. If you're someone who doesn't have a really stressful day and you work out at night, that's fine. Although it is advisable to work out in the morning, but if you are someone who really has a stressful day at work or is going through a stressful period in their life, definitely you want to be able to work out in the morning, and in a time where your body's at ease. And I would personally advise, if you are having difficulty losing weight and you have stress in your life, definitely try to go for exercises that are more medium intensity than high intensity. So I know you see a lot of HIIT exercises that help burn fat. Yes, true, you can do those occasionally, but in the long run you want to focus on exercises that will put your body in a if you want, a relaxed state, but still manage to lose those calories. So those are the 7 ways to boost your metabolism. In some way, there are reasons why you won't lose weight, and there are ways actually to boost your metabolism. So I hope the 2 parts of that helps you out, because really it's not that simple sometimes to lose weight. Especially the older we get, the more, if you want, complications happen, the more we get into a state of maybe stress, lack of sleep, no time to exercise, we don't like to have breakfast, we've dieted a lot in our life, and the older we get, this will come up more. So the more we get, the older we get, the more we've dieted, if we were someone who has dieted a lot in our lives. So all of these can be complications that kind of show up later. So definitely, if you're having issues losing weight, or you feel like no matter what you do, your weight is stuck, check out these seven ways to boost your metabolism. If one of them is something that you're missing, try to fill that blank in. If you watch this video and you're like, okay, so all of these things I don't do, try to start to incorporate them into your life. Because they really will make a big difference. Sometimes it's really one thing that could kind of just be the turtle in your weight loss process, basically. Subscribe. I will be putting more videos on this topic because a lot of my patients struggle with weight loss, and I think that also this video there's a lot that could come after it, of how to, let's say, reverse diet, how to add breakfasts, what types of breakfasts you could add if you're not such a breakfasty person, how to incorporate more protein in your diet. Also, if you're not someone with a big appetite but you need to increase your protein intake, also, I will share with you along the way brands that you can, protein shakes that you can incorporate. So whatever it is that is your issue with these 7 ways to boost your metabolism, I will try to add more videos to help you out there. Subscribe, comment, please let me hear your stories. Let me hear how you are struggling with losing weight. And all I can say is that the number one thing to finally achieve or get to the place that you want to get to is consistency. So these things are difficult. These 7 things are actually sometimes difficult to incorporate every day in your life, and that's normal. We're human at the end of the day. But as long as you try to stick to those and you try to be consistent, you will eventually get there. You will eventually get there. And yeah, stay tuned for more.